Hi, today I'm going to show you how to do the front wrap cross carry with a newborn. I don't have a newborn handy, so this is my newborn. First thing you want to do is take your wrap and fold it in half. You're folding the long ends together, or the two rails. Newborns are pretty tiny, so they don't need the whole width of the wrap, and this just makes it a little bit easier to get them safely positioned. So once you've got it folded in half, and you want the edges that are folded together are going to be on top, because that's going to make a little pocket for baby to go into. And then find the middle of your wrap and put it across your middle. And then you're going to take both ends and cross them behind you. And then up over your shoulder. Like so. And straighten out. Alright, and then when you get to this point, you're ready to put baby in. So most newborns prefer the froggy leg position, which means their legs are actually going to be in the wrap. And if you think about how newborns normally hold themselves when you hold them on your chest like this, they normally sort of scrunch out froggy style, so that's why it's called froggy legs. So you want the carrier to always mimic that natural holding position. So you'll take your little froggy leg baby, and you're going to put him into the pocket here. And that'll make it a little bit easier again to get him properly positioned. So you just take his little froggy legged self and squish him down in the pocket. And you want the back side of the pocket to come up between you and baby, so that you're sure that he's actually seated in the pocket and that he's not just going to fall out. And you should have plenty of width on the wrap. The inside part doesn't have to come up as high as the outside part. As long as it's between you, it should be fine. And you want this outside part to come up nice and snug across the back of his shoulders, so that'll help give him a little bit of head support. And then you want baby to be nice and high on your chest, because that'll be more comfortable for you. The rule is you want him to be close enough to kiss. Like so. Alright, and the next step is going to be to start tightening everything up. So, just kind of give a little bit of a tug on things. And if you get this pocket nice and snug, that's what's going to hold him in place. And then the second cross passes are just sort of extra. Ideally, you want things to be spread out across your back, because as baby gets heavier, that's going to be more important for your comfort. If it's all like bunched up, it's going to start to pull. So you pull everything nice and snug. Some people just do sort of a bunch on their shoulder. Other people will do kind of a fold over technique. You can kind of play around with it and see what's most comfortable for you. And then you want to spread these passes back over baby. So at this point I sort of unfold it a little bit. So this is the top part, and I'm bringing that across. And when baby is a little bit older, he'll probably want his legs out, and at that point this would go between his legs. But right now he's legs in, so I just kind of, again, tuck it up and just reinforce that pocket. And then I do the same thing on the other side. So again, just sort of reinforcing the pocket. And then you can either tie behind you, or if you have an extra long wrap, then you can tie it back in front of you. Okay, so at this point you're all ready to roll. If baby falls asleep and you want to sort of give him a little more head support, then whichever way he's got his head turned, so if he's turned this way, then you can just kind of tuck his head under here a little bit. You just want to make sure that I always kind of would pull this side back a little bit so you can make sure that you see his face, because obviously you don't want to cover up his face. And the other thing you can do, if it's really hot, or you feel hot, maybe baby's okay, you can kind of pull the sides back a little bit, because remember, the pocket is what's going to hold him in place as long as you got that nice and tight, and these are just here to sort of offer some extra support. So you can do it like this as well, and again, just kind of fiddle around with the shoulders until you figure out what's most comfortable for you. But then you are all ready to go. Bye! Okay, now I'm going to show you a version of using a long wrap that's actually easier to do. It's what they call a poppable carry. so you can pre-tie it, which is nice if you're going out running errands and you don't want to try to finagle a long wrap in a parking lot or something. So this is called the front cross carry. So before we did the front wrap cross carry, so this is kind of similar, but involves a little bit different move. So again, if you're working with a newborn, you can start by folding the wrap in half. And this time, instead of starting with the pocket on the front, we're going to start by putting, so still with the folds at the top, but instead we're going to start putting the middle of the wrap in the middle of our back. Okay, and then you're going to cross the wrap in front of you. If you can try to keep things straight, that'll make it more comfortable in the long run. So you're going to have sort of an X in front of you. And then you'll have an X behind you as well. So you'll bring the sides back to cross behind you. And then you tie the wrap. So at this point, if I were going out somewhere, I could just wear my wrap and go, and then when I get to wherever I'm going, I can get my baby, cute little baby, and baby is going to sit in these crosses this time. So to get him in there, you may need to loosen it up a little bit if you tied it really tight. And what I would do is sort of pull, so you got sort of this band right here that's underneath the cross, so start by pulling the slack out of that, and then kind of pull the slack from your shoulders, because you want this part to be nice and snug right here. Okay, and then obviously you're going to need to put him in this inner cross first, and then we'll spread this outer cross over him. So it might even be easy to kind of like pull this one down on your shoulder. So you see that this is the one that's on the outside, and this is the inner cross. Okay, again we have kind of, since we folded the wrap in half, we have a little bit of a pocket to put him in. So again, he's froggy-legged. And then we just kind of scoot him down in the pocket. And same thing with the front wrap cross carry, you still want to make sure that part of the wrap is up between you and baby so that it creates a nice safe pocket for him. And you may find that if he likes to turn his head to one side or the other more often, that you might want to make that the inner pass, because that'll make it easiest to tuck his head under the inner pass. Okay, so you get him sorted out. It's a little bit easier to tuck a real baby as opposed to a stuffed animal. He doesn't weigh enough. And then you'll take this and spread this over him. And now you just have to work on tightening it a little bit. So to tighten it, you're going to pull up on this. Oops. Actually, it's probably easiest to just do like this. Okay. So to tighten it, I lied, ignore that last part. And pull down like this. And then do the same on the other side. And you might kind of, like that. And then you can tie it in front, or if you have a lot of extra wrap, you could certainly tie it behind you too. Like that. And again, you want him high enough to kiss, and if he falls asleep, then you can sort of tuck his head. And the shoulders can be folded or scrunched, whichever is most comfortable. But there you go. That's the front cross carry.